What is the New World Order conspiracy? Do you know?
New World it's really simple. New World is a famous supermarket chain in New Zealand. And New World Order is when you buy in bulk from there. And that's a bit of a gag for the Kiwis. Right now they're watching, going, this guy's an absolute crack up.
Today's newspapers, folks, are full of stories about the rampant rise in divorce rates, the increasing abuse of children by some parents, increases in the incidence of rape pornography being read by an increasing number of people, more crimes against property, demands for world government, urgings for national borders to fall, Christian churches being closed because they will not seek licensing by the state, etc., 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 and I could go on and on and on and on and on. Why are these things happening? Why are all of the legacies of the past, the family, national borders, the right to practice any chosen religion, the right to private property, among other things, under such an attack? Is it possible that there are actually people and organizations who really want to change the basic order of things? Clues to the answers to these questions, folks, can be gleaned from some comments made by people and organizations that are talking about these wide-ranging changes in the nature of our lifestyle.
And since then, we established a liberal world order, and that hadn't happened in a long while. A lot of people died, but nowhere near the chaos. And now is the time when things are shifting. There's going to be a new world order out there, and we've got to lead it. We've got to unite the rest of the free world in doing it.
And a warm reception for Barack Obama as he walks to the podium. His wife seated among the heads of state and dignitaries.
The time has come for the world to move in a new direction. We must embrace a new era of engagement based on mutual interest and mutual respect, and our work must begin now.
And the president outlined his vision of a new world order in which the U.S. would participate fully.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
How would I find out more about that?
Well, you know, you could, if you just Google New World Order, you're going to get a whole bunch of information on that, or you're going to get this 1990s professional wrestling faction featuring Kevin Nash and Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
But the greatest threat on this front springs from the distinct illiberal and external actors who equate their success with fracturing the liberal international order. And I'll not mince words. This movement is principally led by Russia. We see it in their aggression against their neighbors, sending in so-called little green men across borders to stir violence and stirs of strains of separatism in Ukraine. And again, the purpose is clear: to collapse the liberal international order. Simply put, Mr. Putin has a different vision of the future, one in which Russia is pursuing across the board.
But right now, it's a critical time because we know that we not only fight for Ukraine, we fight for this new world order for the democratic countries. We knew that we are the shield for the Europe. We knew that we are protecting not only Ukraine, we are protecting like all the other countries that would be next if we fail. That's why we just cannot fail.
Well, you know John Ondrasik from the band Five for Fighting and the hit song Superman. I love that song.
He sang it live on Fox and Friends back in the day, inspired by the Ukrainian people and their Superman, President Zelensky. The singer-songwriter is releasing a song dedicated to the leader of Ukraine.
Before I introduce them, I got this message this morning from Bono. And most of us, we're always, whether we're in Ireland or here or whatever it is, Bono has been a very Irish part of our lives. And he said this. He said, "Oh, St. Patrick, he drove out the snakes with his prayers, but that's not all it takes. For the smoke symbolizes an evil that arises and hides in your heart as it breaks. And the evil risen from the darkness that lives in some men, but in sorrow and fear, that's when saints can appear, to drive out those old snakes once again. And they struggle for us to be free from the psycho in this human family. Ireland's sorrow and pain is now the Ukraine, and St. Patrick's name is now Zelensky." About that. Well, you like that, Father?
John Ondrasik has put this out just a couple of days ago, and he said, you're about to hear it live. John, what prompted you to take action the best way you know how, and that's through music?
You know, Brian, I think with someone like Zelensky, it's easy to be inspired. I think he's a unique figure in history that forces us to look at ourselves as individuals and nations. You know, what would you do if your country was being invaded by a thug like Putin? Would you take the plane ticket that he was offered, or would you ask for Stingers and MiGs? He strengthens us, he shames us, he enlightens us, he inspires us, and it makes it easy to have a song like that. It frankly writes itself.
It does.
But he's got everyone thinking, can one man save the world?
An Associated Press dispatch on July the 26th, 1968 reported this, quote, New York Governor Nelson A. Rockefeller says as president he would work toward international creation of a new world order, unquote. And you thought George Bush coined that phrase? Surprise, surprise. On January the 30th, 1976, a new document called the Declaration of Interdependence was introduced to the American people, and it was signed by 124 traitors, 32 senators, and 92 representatives, altogether 124 traitors in Washington, D.C., and it read in part, quote, 2 centuries ago, our forefathers brought forth a new nation. Now we must join with others to bring forth a new world order, unquote. Another individual who has commented is Henry Kissinger, probably the greatest traitor this nation has ever known, former Secretary of State. According to the Seattle Post-Intelligence of April 18, 1975, Mr. Kissinger said, quote, Our nation is uniquely endowed to play a creative and decisive role in the new order which is taking form around us, unquote. George Bush gave the commencement address at Texas A&M University on May 12, 1989, and he used similar words as well. His speech was on the subject of Soviet-American relations, and he was quoted as saying in part, quote, Ultimately, our objective is to welcome the Soviet Union back into the world order. Perhaps the world order of the future will truly be a family of nations, unquote.
I believe we, and particularly you, your class, has an incredible window of opportunity to lead in shaping a new world order for the 21st century.
Even the New World Order cannot guarantee an era of perpetual peace, but enduring peace must be our mission. Our success in the Gulf will shape not only the new world order we seek, but our mission here at home.